So we got a Jordan brand Grail getting ready to hit the street soon. Well, can we still call these a Grail? Because remember, this sneaker actually got that title when it was reselling for double, triple the retail price. But now with the re-release happening and the fact that scalpers won't be able to hit those same profit margins, will this Jordan brand classic lose its Grail status? But regardless of all that, I got great news. Jordan brand, they're doing something very special for this release, and the rollout has actually just began. So before we jump into things, I actually got to shoot my thumbnail pic, and from what I've seen, you know, I'm trying to hit 100,000 subs. I feel like I'm definitely deserving of that plaque. And from what I've noticed here in the sneaker YouTube space, all of the big dogs, they seem to hit y'all with, like, you know, pick something like or better yet, maybe a little something like. So maybe I should try that out, but nah, regardless, I'm gonna just continue to do me. And if you guys wanna come along for the journey, consider subscribing down below. Now, as far as this rollout, Jordan brand, they're doing big things. They've lit up the streets of Italy, to which 40 years ago, MJ, he played in an exhibition game, shattering the backboard, a legendary moment which made waves throughout the years, so much that in 2015, Jordan brand decided to pay homage to that very special moment, releasing the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard, a sneaker based off the colors of the jersey that MJ was rocking that same night. Now, this sneaker wasn't actually a big hit right out the gate, but rather, you know, through word of mouth, through the quality, through the craftsmanship, this sneaker actually obtained its Grail status. Prices went up like crazy. People were loving these, and here 10 years later in 2025, Jordan brand is bringing back the Shattered Backboard 1, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Jordan brand. So these joints right here have had a lot of narratives, you know, surrounding this release. At first, people were complaining about the quality, saying that these don't compare to that 2015 version, and at the same time, you got people saying that Jordan 1s are dead. So today, I wanted to take a look at these in a little more detail, as well as some upcoming Jordan 1 releases, which we can look forward to here up until the end of 2025. And I know everybody feels like Jordan 1s are dead, but trust me, stay tuned. There's definitely some pairs on this list that I'm guessing some of you guys should be interested in. Now, these won't officially be releasing until August 23rd, but on top of that little special presentation which took place in Italy, Jordan brand did actually drop these a little bit early via Sneaker Stash Pass, exclusive to residents of Paris. Now, based off the fact that these are actually going to be releasing on the 23rd of August, and due to the fact that Jordan brand dropped these early in Paris, I would expect to see these drop early over here in the States. It's just depending on the way that Jordan brand plans to release these, whether it's via like a stash pass or you name it. But just based off the way that we've seen a lot of these Jordan releases go down early this year, more so than likely, we could probably expect to see exclusive access. It's just a matter of like when, but more so than likely, I would definitely expect to see Jordan brand try to get some of these pairs hitting the streets a little bit early ahead of that August release date. Now, as far as this Jordan brand classic, you guys have already heard the narrative. Seth Fowler put out a little early review on these, talking about the leather quality wasn't great. It seems like everybody's just running with that and are already bashing this sneaker. But as far as the early looks, I mean, you got people complaining about the leather quality, as well as even the shade of orange on this sneaker. But for me, I'm more so concerned about the shape, as we have an official look at a retail pair right here via Nice Kicks. And I don't know if y'all see that toe box or not, but them joints is definitely looking a little bit crazy, I would have to say. And just think about it, if these were to drop years ago, people would have probably accused you for rocking fakes or something like this. So as far as the quality on these, it looks like people are going to be copying multiple pairs, you know, looking just to get that perfect shape, because for a sneaker like this, which apparently, according to Mr. Unloved Ones, should be a massively produced GR, just like he said, for them reimagined Jordan 1s. You know, due to the fact anytime Jordan brand drops a massive sneaker like this, you're always going to deal with quality control issues. And as far as this specific pair right here, I mean, look at the toe box, y'all. Like, it's absolutely insane right here. So I guess people are going to be doubling, tripling up on these. And just a little warning for everybody, you know, just make sure your pair don't look nothing like this right here, because them joints is looking like bowling shoes or something like that. But regardless, it's still a Jordan brand classic. I love the fact that Jordan brand, you know, is doing a little special something to commemorate this release. I feel like we haven't seen Jordan brand, you know, do something special for a pair of Jordan 1s since, like, let's say them Bread 85 Chicagos, them band joints. So I like what they're doing. We'll see how people react once these actually officially release. And due to the fact that these should be available for everybody, that's great news. And just a warning, like, don't pay these scalpers who are trying to get these joints off early, because as far as the release, I'm guessing these should be for everybody. And speaking of a pair of Jordans, which probably won't be for everybody, you know, we got the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1. So let's just get this right out the room. Like, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, right? So say, for example, this sneaker was not a Nigel Sylvester collaboration. Nobody would care about it. That's facts. But because it is a Nigel Sylvester collaboration, there's going to be a lot more people checking for these right here, and rightfully so. I feel like Nigel Sylvester's rise, you know, through the Jordan brand ranks was definitely organic. People seem to love that first pair of Jordan 1s, which he dropped. They didn't really do too much. They didn't try to like rush, you know, another hit out right out the gate, but they let that first pair marinate. They then hit us with the Jordan 4 RMs. People rock with those. And then with them brick by bricks dropping this year, you guys already know that Nigel hype is throughout the roof. I mean, you could even compare it to something like Travis Scott. Like, say he was to drop a pair like this with the reverse swoosh, people would go crazy for him. But because they got them little Nigel details on them, you already know the hype is going to be there. They got the pre-scuff, the age look on here. You got the little Nike swooshes right there by the toe box area. People are definitely going to be lining up for these right here. Based off the brick by bricks, you already expect these to be a smash hit. So we got the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1 Low Nitro, based off that original Jordan 1 Nitro sample, which we saw surface around the same time them first pair of Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1s dropped in, I think it was 2018. So this is definitely going to be a big hit for Jordan brand, and you already know people are going to go crazy for these. And it's not the last Nigel Sylvester release, as apparently he's got another pair of 4s set to drop later this year. So I can't wait to see, you know, what they got in the tuck for 2026. Maybe Nigel will take his talents to another Jordan model, maybe an all original silhouette like we're seeing with Travis Scott. We'll just have to wait on it. But as far as these right here, I think they're cool. You know, they got some nice storytelling elements in place and all that, paying homage to that OG Nitro sample. So this is going to be a cool one to look forward to coming up here in August. Now, as far as people checking for these, you already know they're going to go crazy. On the other side of things, as far as this one, I don't expect to see the same hype. What we're looking at right here is the Jordan 1 High OG Self-Expression, a sneaker which, when we first heard about these, people were thinking these were going to be like the woke Jordan 1s. But now that we actually see what they're all about, the self-expression, you know, simply comes from the fact that these feature that rub-off paint, to which they reveal multiple different color layers. You guys can express yourselves, you know, as you wear these. The paint will wear off, giving different unique vibes to each single sneaker. So these are set to drop August 9th, and while I don't think these are going to be a smash hit or anything like that, I mean, they're not bad, and I guess what we can go ahead and call these joints right here is unique. I guess that's the best way to describe them. So those are a cool one. As far as these Baroque brown Jordan 1s, these are actually going to be a women's exclusive drop, and we actually just saw the very first images as these have been pulled off the back end of Nike servers. Set to drop coming up here in September. I would have to say these joints are looking real nice. You got a little brown sail combo. If these were to have dropped a couple years back, people would have went nuts for these, but here in 2025, we all know Jordan 1s aren't as popular as they once were, but I still feel like these are a dope looking sneaker. And I feel like this release could go, you know, one of two ways, being as they are a woman's exclusive drop, depending on if they release in extended sizes or not. You know, this could be one that could just come and go because it's a woman's exclusive drop, but if they do release in extended sizes, you never know. They could be a little more limited, you know, tough to get your hands on, and people may actually be checking for these. So regardless, I still feel like they're a cool looking pair of Jordan 1s set to drop coming up here in September. So with those out the way, of course, we got to talk about these Travises, which are going to be dropping September 20th. Now, you guys already know what happens when it comes to a Travis Scott drop. People are going to be going nuts for these right here. This is a kind of interesting one because are we going to call these like the Fragment 2.0s? Because remember, we did get a Travis Fragment, which dropped in a high and low, but it seems like this go around, we're just getting the low top version, and it feels like we've been seeing these for like over a year. So it's cool to see that these are finally officially going to be getting a retail drop. And anything when it comes to Travis Scott drops, from what I've noticed, at least with these Travis 1 lows, it feels like the quality craftsmanship is just a little step above, you know, your standard GR pair of Jordan 1 lows. And just based off this little clip right here of what apparently happens to be a retail pair, I would have to say the leather quality on these joints is definitely looking pretty nice right here. So this is going to be a big one that people are going to go nuts for. And just like we said with Nigel Sylvester, just because the Travis Scott collab is going to bring the people out. So it's kind of crazy to think that Jordan brand, you know, they're dropping a Travis Scott Jordan 1 low. They're hitting us with a Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1 low. So it was only right for them to bring out a classic OG colorway. So we got the Jordan 1 low Chicago releasing for the first time. Actually, since 2016, as far as this one, the big update on this, it seems to have more of an improved shape, as well as the big Nike swoosh. So nothing really bad to say about these. I mean, I feel like they're looking nice. Jordan 1 highs maybe a little bit overdone, maybe a little too oversaturated. So nowadays, I feel like people are kind of gravitating towards the 1 lows. They're a lot easier to wear, a lot more casual, and just I feel like, you know, more accessible to just the everyday consumer. So like I mentioned, some hype Jordan 1 lows. And then of course they gotta hit us with a classic like these. I'm expecting this one to be a hit, scheduled to drop coming up November 15th. So as we keep things moving, I mean, how can we forget about these Zion Williamsons? I feel like these have been just as quiet as Zion Williamson's basketball career is going quietly. It feels like nobody's really talking about these right now. Of course, we have seen Jordan Brand hit us with some PEs, you know, for some of their Jordan athletes. We've seen Chris Paul. We've seen them Jason Tatum joints, and then we did see Zion drop them joints back in 2023. So I guess this will be the follow-up. And as far as these Voodoos, they got a lot of really cool details in them. But just for me, like, these are just kind of giving off kids' shoe vibes. They almost look like something that Travis Scott would have dropped. But, you know, although they're not for me, I appreciate them from like a, you know, artistic point of view, I guess I could say. I mean, they're nice, you know, but just for the personal, nah, I wouldn't rock something like this, but they're still dope, you know what I'm saying? And I know this is a shoe that a lot of people are gonna be checking for. So although Zion Williamson ain't making too much noise on the court, I'm expecting these Zion ones to definitely make some noise off of the court. And then lastly, we got a shoe which I still do not believe that these are gonna be dropping. Like, this is wild. We got the off-white Jordan 1s. Now apparently this is supposed to be a big fourth quarter, maybe holiday, December release. I still honestly don't believe that these are dropping. And the fact that Jordan Brand is gonna be dropping off-whites again, like, couldn't they have came with a better model? Like, I know there's so many unreleased samples, and this one is more so like something that we kind of see in the past, you know, that Europe exclusive pair. But regardless, it's still dope to see it. You know, Virgil, he made such a huge impact when that original 10 hit, and people just seem to love everything that he was dropping. Well, mostly everything. So, you know, they're still dropping Virgil off-white Air Force Ones. It looks like Jordan Brand releases will continue. It'll be interesting to see if this is like a one-of-one type of drop, or if we continue to see, you know, Nike and Jordan Brand continue to drop more off-whites. Because as I mentioned, there's a lot more in the back tuck. There's a lot more in the catalog, a lot of unreleased samples that we've seen. So let me know, what are some off-white unreleased samples that you would like to see? And, you know, outside of the samples, you know, what are some Jordan models that you would like to see released as a future potential off-white collaboration? And on top of these, you know, I know like the hype beasts and everybody here in the sneaker community, they're gonna go nuts for these when they drop, but I want to see if like we see the fashion people, you know, like them fashion dudes rocking these just like they were when the off-whites were dropping. We'll see how that plays out, but regardless, these joints are dope, and I love to see them return. Like, who's mad at these returning? But we'll just see how big of an impact they have when they release. But based off the fact they're dropping fourth quarter and a potentially holiday release around Christmas time, you already know people are gonna go crazy. So we got a lot of Jordan 1s dropping here until the end of 2025. Well, not as much as we could probably say within the last couple of years or so. It seems like Jordan Brand kind of scaled back as far as Jordan 1s. It seems like less filler and more of like the dope pairs that people are actually be checking for. So we got some collaborations, you got some OG pairs, you also got some cult classics returning, but we got a decent selection of Jordan 1s returning. So as far as the Shattered Backboards, man, let me know if any of you guys are checking for these. Are you concerned about these images right here? How do y'all feel about Seth Fowler and early sneaker reviewers saying that the quality doesn't compare to the OG release? Is that gonna turn you away from picking up this Jordan Brand Grail, and due to the fact that scalpers aren't gonna be able to flip these for double, triple the amount like the 2015 version? Does that make this sneaker no longer a Grail? Let me know what y'all think down below. So that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed today's video, help support the channel by dropping a thumbs up. And if you made it all the way through the end, let me know by dropping a salute down below. So I'm J.A. Of course, I will catch you guys next time. I appreciate everybody. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out, y'all. Love.